YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Klutch. Welcome to Adults Say the Wildest Things. Today I got a special guest. Here I got
Dory.
got beautiful Dory. All right, so I have a question now that have you ever been in a relationship where you felt like the person that you were with was not giving you their all?
Oh, yes.
And how do you, I guess, identify those signs that you're with somebody, say like a narcissist?
It took me a while to figure it out, and I had a lot of people telling me, and then it just finally, a few signs, and it was like it clicked, and I just knew. It was hard to believe that the people telling me that he was, but then it's...
Yeah. So like, what was the thing that clicked for you? Like, what made you wake up like, wow?
He was expecting the world from me where I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't bend over backwards for him, and I was getting nothing in return.
So do you have like a story or a scenario or an example of? All right, I'll let you slide with that then. Yeah, I feel like, well, I don't feel, I think that in some cases that you might get involved with, whether it's a male or a female, they might be able to present themselves as this person, and then you end up falling in love or liking that person that they personify. So that's why I asked if you had like a scenario that woke you up, because maybe it'll help the viewers to see, you know, is there a certain thing that this person's doing? Like for me, for example, I would say that a clear sign is if they cannot be matching their actions with their words. So that in itself would tell me something, yeah, that you're dealing with a narcissist or a sociopath, or I know a lot of these words get thrown out there, and we're none of us are psychologists or anything like that. But so what would you say that, you know, somebody that is, say, a narcissist, how could you, if you had like a daughter, how would you be able to tell, or even if you know, had a son, or how would you be able to tell them, you know, this person, I've seen this before?
Well, my story, what I went through. I know sometimes if people tell you something, you tend not to do it, right? You need to believe it with your own eyes.
Yeah. So you basically have to experience.
Because like I can tell you, like for my son, like I can tell him don't date this person because of this, but he won't listen to me because he'll need to find it out on himself, right?
Yeah, that's true. And
all
then,
lessons, like life lessons, right?
So wouldn't you want him to avoid?
I would, but sometimes you can't avoid it, right? You try to guide them in the right direction.
Well, I would say that you can avoid it if you make better decisions in terms of seeing the red flags or the signs. Like I mentioned, one with the, you know, words not matching with the actions, or let's say another one is they want you to put out more in the relationship while they put out less. If they're doing wrong, say they're cheating or doing things that they know they're not supposed to be doing, and then they'll project that onto you and make you feel that, hey, you need to do more. Or like say, so has your ex cheated on you? Or have you ever had a guy in your life that has cheated on you? So has any one of them, or has that one person cheated on you and said, well, you cheated on me, or I cheated on you because of you weren't being affectionate, or they've never said anything like that?
No.
Okay, and then has any of them said something along the lines of, you know, babe, can you do this for me, do that for me, and then you're not really, they're not really doing those same things back. It can't always be 50-50 or equal. You know, sometimes there's gonna be moments where you're gonna be giving a lot and then they'll be giving a lot, but it shouldn't feel like hard work, you know? It should feel like almost, it should be work at the end of the day.
But it should be easy work for the most part.
Easy. I would say be work, but it shouldn't be hard work. Like it shouldn't be.
That's what I said. It's work, but not easy.
Yeah,
it's
I guess.
Hard work.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
You shouldn't have to work for it. Like it should just be easy, simple.
I think anything worth having in life, it is going to be a little bit hard work. Like again, there's not going to be a perfect path to, like, not everyone's going to have a certain situation where this formula matches with their formula. Like every relationship's going to be different. So anything that's worth having is not going to come easy. So for example, you have, you know, whether a guy or a girl goes to work, they listen to their boss tells them what to do, when to go on their breaks, when to use the bathroom, etc., etc. Now, you might be in a relationship and you might be with a guy and he's telling you, don't do this, don't go to the club, don't dress like this, wouldn't it be, I guess for the right guy, if a guy is making a certain amount of money and he's taking care of you and whatnot, would you consider him being narcissist if you went out to a club with your girls, or let's say you went to go play baseball with your friends? Would you feel like he's being a narcissist or controlling if he told you, hey babe, I don't feel comfortable because I know someone there that likes you, or I know that how would
But like that's the thing though, like you should trust. There's trust in a relationship, right? So just because somebody likes me, I shouldn't have to worry. Like I'm in a relationship with someone, that's who I'm with, right? So I don't care if this person likes me or this person likes me. If I'm with you, I'm with you. So it doesn't really matter. Don't tell me that I can't hang out with these people.
But even if that person knows that that person likes you, you still would hang out with that?
Well, not one-on-one, but if it's a group setting, why not? Like if they're on my baseball team, or on the same team as me. Like if I make my own team, I will not put him on my baseball team. But if I end up playing on a team that he's on, I can't help that. I mean, yes, I can't play, but I love baseball.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, and so if the roles were reversed, if your guy had a girl on his team,
that's fine.
You'd be cool with that?
Yeah.
And you know she wants him.
Yeah, as long as they're not making a move, right?
But she's doing. You know how girls think.
I do.
Yeah,
I do. But you gotta trust your man, right?
I guess. I mean, I guess. Okay. Well, that's fair. So then now, going back to being with somebody that is a quote-unquote narcissist or a sociopath, would you recommend, like, what are the steps that you take to get over a person like that?
Oh boy. I don't want to see my steps because I know they were wrong. Everyone's different, right? You just sometimes, like, you lose yourself. You got to take time to figure it out to remember yourself.
So you mean put yourself first, and so what steps did you take? Did you stalk?
No, not at all. No, I was just very depressed and very sad, and went through that kind of. I'm an emotional person, so I feel and sense a lot of things, and I'm just in tune with it.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing a lot of things for a little bit just to kind of get my feet back, and then I just started doing me, right?
So did you hop right into the dating market,
No.
or you just
No.
said no right away?
No.
I feel that.
No, there's no way. Because if I'm not over someone, why should I jump in a relationship with someone?
Yeah, I respect that. So because you don't want to go into something broken, and then, you're kind of hurting people. That would be actually my next question. Would you say that you had like a hatred for men after that, or did you?
No, just him.
Do you feel like you can love again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. So you never feel, or you haven't felt that you were jaded at any point? Like you were, I would say, more cautious.
Yes.
Okay, and like
After every relationship, I've always been more cautious.
Like in what way? Like give me an example, just
I find something that I don't like, or if someone cheats, I don't give my heart out as much, as easy, right? I don't want to be broken again.
Okay. It's kind of interesting because how would you know that if you're fully healed if you still have a little bit of reservation left?
Because I'm always going to be cautious. That's my answer.
All right, I feel that. Okay, well, I mean, that's good that, at least, I appreciate you coming forward and talking about it, because there's actually a lot of people that go through heartbreak and breakups and dealing with somebody that is narcissist. Sometimes it could be diagnosed as a personality disorder. It could be, again, like I said, a sociopath. And these people walk the planet not knowing that they have these issues because they refuse to talk to other people. Now, for me, speaking for myself, I'm more of a forgiving soul. I actually see the person's heart. And it can kind of go against me in a way, because I know we all are human, and I know at some point people do need grace. I wasn't perfect myself. I took a lot of work and steps, like you said, self-reflecting, working on yourself, and then that's how you get better, through your mistakes and whatnot. But a lot of these people, they don't know that they're hurt, and they're going through life hurting other people and damaging other people. And so sometimes, would you say you've forgiven that person for what they did to you?
At first I didn't. It took me a little bit, but I have eventually.
Yeah. And how long do you think that took for you? Like,
Probably 6 months to a year.
yeah, everyone's different, but yeah,
And it depends what it is, right? It depends how long your relationship was and how invested everybody was in it.
yeah, it's hard. It depends on too how much they've hurt you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because
Depends on a lot of things.
yeah, a lot of them tend to play victim. Like, they're the ones that are the bullies and the abusers. Not to be physically, but emotionally, mentally taxing. Just like, there'd be a peaceful environment, and they would just bring up a random argument or fight just to create some chaos. And you end up falling in love with this persona that they've built when you first met them. And then you realize that that's not even who they are, and they don't even really care about me like that.
Yeah.
It's all really about them. Like, they just care about themselves. And when you start to realize that, you wake up from this delusion state that, this is not really them. This is just someone that they made up, to the point where you would say, I miss them, or miss the times that we had. And
I miss the good times. There was more bad times than good times, but then you also think you give them the benefit of the doubt, right?
yeah, exactly. But that wasn't who they are. It was literally someone that they made up, and
They get what they want.
yeah, they would say things like, I love you, and that word love means nothing to them. It's like, it kind of blows your mind, because you think you know yourself, you know your heart, and if you say I love you to somebody, you actually mean it. Whereas, so you think that when they say, they're feeling the same way that you are feeling, but they don't really care. It's just like, it's crazy, because sometimes, and again, they might not even know they have these kind of issues. And sometimes the ones that are doing it deliberately too are just sick. And they'll just go around and then they'll talk behind your back, make you look like the bad person. Then they will go around and present themselves as the victim and that you were the one abusing them. Meanwhile, the whole time they were cheating on you or telling lies on you. And then you're thinking, well, okay, well, he's right. Maybe I should have did this differently, and then he wouldn't have cheated on me. So then you start trying to do more for that person in the relationship, and they're like, okay, I can get more out of this every time. So you're basically enabling them to treat you worse. Like, there's a saying that you teach people how to treat you. And there's another saying too, is that, you know, one hand can't clap, you know? Yeah. That means that, you know, because it takes two people to actually put, like we talked about, make an effort in a relationship. So, like, again, I would say that depending on the person and how much they've hurt you, I would say that forgiveness probably is the best thing to do as soon as possible, because in that way you can get to that path of self-healing quicker. This is a little bit of a serious topic, but I think it's very important that people need awareness about it, because I think people don't understand how common. I think more and more people are becoming narcissists with social media, Instagram, you know, Snapchat, Facebook, the list goes on and on. I think people are becoming more narcs. And do you think, like, what do you think? Do you think things will get any better with that? Like, do you think people will, like, do you think things will come full circle and people start to see the light? Like,
I hope so, but you never know in this world, right? In the day of age, people are crazy.
So what I would ask you then, do you think that girls are becoming more narcissistic, or do you think men are becoming more narcissistic?
Can I say both?
Equally, both?
I don't know. I have no clue.
Like,
I haven't paid much attention.
Okay, so we talked about that social media contributes to people becoming more narcissistic. So I already have a theory in my head, but who do you think uses social media more on a generally scale?
Women.
Okay, so so I mean, we kind of see what's happening here. Yes, I think if you would ask all girls, and again, this is my opinion, I think that most girls will consider themselves a 10. And now they will base it on how they feel, like in terms of confidence-wise, I feel like a 10. Whereas men would judge visually, like, okay, she's a 10 just by how she looks. So I think with vanity comes the narcissism. So if you're calling yourself a 10, then most likely you're gonna feel, well, I'm bigger and better than you. You should praise me. You should worship me. Give me the bag. Give me this. I deserve, you know?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Again, guys are not perfect as well. I'm not sitting here bashing women or anything like that. I'm just kind of stating my observation. One other question I must ask. And this goes back to the sister code. Would you tell on your best friend if you knew she was cheating, or if you knew that she was cheating on her boyfriend? No? Why wouldn't you tell on her?
Best friend. Why would I do that?
Okay.
I would just talk to her and be like, what are you doing? Why are you cheating? And if you're cheating, you should not be in a relationship then.
So then if, let's say you had a sister and she was married to a guy, would you tell him that your sister was cheating on him? How about, would you tell her if he was cheating on your sister?
If I had proof, yes.
Okay, let's say it's not a sister. Let's say it's just a friend.
Yes.
So why is it that you would tell?
I don't.
Why is it that you have to protect the women and not? I thought, equally, we're all human beings. You don't want to see people get hurt.
I don't know. I don't have an answer for you.
I have a theory. I think there's a sister code. I think that women have this nature where, or instinct that they know what each other been through, so they will stick up for each other, right or wrong. And I think they would defend each other through right or wrong. But I would say that for the most part, they would know what that individual is doing is wrong, and they would, like you said, you would bring them aside and talk to her and whatever, but they wouldn't go out and say anything to. But then,
but it's none of our business either, right? Like, I'm not gonna go tell your girlfriend if you're cheating, right? Like,
it's none of your business, but then you're telling your friend not to do it.
yeah, exactly.
So then,
But I mean, like, no, it doesn't. No. it just doesn't. No.
See, I'm just saying, man. That's what I'm saying. I think that a lot of times girls be protecting each other, and which is cool. I mean, I get it.
Don't you guys protect each other, like?
Yeah.
Guys.
I'm gonna keep it 100. Here's the thing, bros would protect each other to an extent. If there's a very attractive girl, some guys will break that code. There's actually a saying called dirty macking, where you probably haven't heard
Nope.
about it. There's a saying where it's called dirty macking, where a guy would talk bad about another guy just so he can get the girl. So he'll tell the girl, oh, he's a cheater, he's a player, this and that, whatever, just to make sure that the girl won't be interested in him, and then he can slide in and
Slide into the DMs.
yeah, and then take her interest away from him and put it onto the guy that's talking smack about the other dude.
But then wouldn't that be insecurities with that guy, right?
Well, yeah, some guys don't have any game where they can't talk to a woman, or they'll feel shy or whatever, so they know, okay, you know what, I'm not really attractive, I don't really have much going on for myself, I can't really, we don't really have anything to bring to the table, so the guys that she's interested in, I can make those men look bad, and that way the only option she has left is me. And that goes with, that's why a lot of guys will play the friend zone, because they'll just wait, play nice in hopes that one day she might just be like, okay, you're the only one left. I mean,
yeah, I've been through a lot.
Yeah, like I'm 30 something or I'm 40 something. I have no options left. Let's just have a kid, or let's just get married. And so he just wins by default. And they're okay with that. They're happy with the consolation prize.
Oh.
So yeah, I think the dynamic of men and women has changed a lot since, I think we're both millennials, so I think a lot of it's changed since then. We're getting to a new era, new direction, where people are a lot more selfish, and it's getting really difficult to date right now. And I think it's creating more narcissistic people. That's why, I decided to talk about that today, because I think that people need to see those red flags early. When you're dealing with a narcissist, they're gonna disguise themselves as perfect, the victims. Oh, my ex did this, and they're this, da 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 da. I would suggest that, yes, people have been hurt and there has been trauma there. And again, their ex may have done them wrong to some degree. But if the person is always, shining light on their ex and not bringing up their own flaws or what they did to contribute to the failure of the relationship, it might show you some signs that, they don't really have the ability of reflection, or and I think that's, again, there's a big issue with people walking around not being able to self-reflect, and I think it might get worse with social media. I think it's gonna get worse. I think this might sound a little bit sexist, but I think more so on the women's side because they're really on social media a lot. Men, I think, are, like I've always said, men are more hopeless romantic. When we love a girl, we love her, and we're gonna show with our actions, either with our wallet.
Yeah, but then sometimes the guys just only want one thing, right?
Yeah, I would say for the most part, it starts off with sexual attraction. I mean, when we talk to you or we meet up with a girl that we find attractive, we're seeing the body and we're like, yo, what up? It's gonna start off that way, of course. But again, it goes both ways. The guy's gonna have to add value to some point. So the girl's gonna look at him like, okay, what does he have going on? Is he ambitious? Is he driven? Does he have a car? Does he have a house? Does he, what's going on? Whereas the guy's gonna look at her, what her value is. Is she going to help me, scale up my business? Is she gonna bring me peace? Will she help, make my bed, do dishes? Is she gonna, add to my life as opposed to taking away? Is she always gonna wanna chill and spend money? Is she gonna be a liability? So the sexes, we're looking at things from a different angles. So you're looking at it from one way, okay, how is this gonna benefit me? And the guy's looking, okay, how is this gonna benefit me in the beginning stages? After you guys are in love and your emotions are connected and everything, then the dynamic might change a bit. He might say, okay, you know what? Could she be a good mother to my child if I give her a baby? Would she be able to stay up long nights and not complain a lot about like her duties while I go out and bring in the money? There's things like that I guess men and women have to think about in the dating market. But again, most people would say those are traditional ways, but I think everyone has a role. Not one role is lesser than the other. If I'm running a McDonald's, if you're a cashier or you're working in the kitchen or if you're a janitor, everybody's needed. Everyone's needed. Everyone's role is not lesser than the other. Everyone's important. So I don't want to ramble on, but what are your thoughts? Do you think that there's hope in the dating market? Like, do you think that people can still find true love in this day and age?
Yes and no. If you're looking for that person, but there is way too many options. There's too many dating apps. There's just people like to think that there's better things out there, right? So, okay, you find one flaw and you're just on to the next, right?
Yeah. So no one has patience anymore. No one wants to work through things. Yeah. Yeah, and I talked about in the other podcast that I did was the monkey branching situation. A lot of people will be doing that as well. But I would say in closing that if you ever, or anybody out there in YouTube land or whatever it was, to go out and date, I would say that to vet the person, get to know them, see if their words match their actions. Sometimes, it's not gonna be all the time they'll be able to match. Sometimes things might come up, they're gonna flake here and there, but just watch the consistencies. And if they're inconsistent a lot, especially listen to your spirit. Like if you feel uneasy with them all the time and you're always wondering what they're doing, if you feel as if they did something wrong and then they're always projecting onto you or gaslighting you, saying, I did this because you, they're never taking any accountability. I would say those are a lot of red flags.
Oh, yes.
Be cognizant of that. And also just trust, I wouldn't say trust your gut because it's not always right, but be patient and wait for the facts. Don't just jump the gun. Like I'll give you a quick story. So I was visiting with my mother and we were walking down the street and, people had seen me and I was seeing someone at the time. And long story short, that person had said, oh, you're out with a girl, da da da. I was like, what? I'm out with a girl? And I started thinking like, I'm out with a girl? I don't remember. Long story short, they're saying that oh, it was a black guy. I was like, oh, that was my mom, you know? So,
Yeah.
and they were quick to jump the gun, like, okay, yeah, so it's not always a gut feeling or the first thing you see. Sometimes seeing is not always what it is. So sometimes give it time, even if you get the truth. So let's say like you find out they actually did cheat or something happened, ask them a question like say, hey, did you go for a walk today? And if they're like, no, not at all, not today at all. And they're like, nah, I didn't go for a walk. You can kind of see. So now you know that they're a liar, they're capable of it.
Yeah.
Now you see how they behave when they lie. You can see their actions, how their body, how they squirm, because you already know the truth. So sometimes it's good to stay poised. And even though you know you might be upset with something, don't always jump the gun and just rah, 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 and like, tell me the truth. Because you already know, you've seen the facts. You know, you caught them in, like you say you were the one walking by the coffee shop and you actually seen him with the girl, they're holding hands, they're engaging. And he's just like, oh, so did you get coffee today? And he's like, no, like, oh, you didn't go to no shop or anything? Like, he's like, no, like I didn't, nah. So you already know, okay, oh, I was just at the gym all day or I was just doing this all day. Okay, he's, oh, why'd you ask? Oh, nothing. Oh, and then if you want to call him out on it, you say, hey, look, I know you're at the coffee shop. If the first response is, oh, how did you know or who told you? You know right there, they don't care about you. If they cared, they would have said, oh, look, I did, I'm sorry, da-da-da-da. That person is actually true. They actually really do care about you. They're actually sorry about their actions. They know, okay, I've been busted, I'm caught. If they're already saying, how did you know or how did you find out? Best believe they are narcs. They're only concerned about themselves, self-preservation. They don't care about you. They're just trying to make sure that they look like the victim and they're gonna cover their tracks. Another gem I'll give you is family members. If a narc sometimes can be good with their family members, so what they will do is they would present themselves as very friendly, engaging, and they will say, so how is dating, I'm just gonna use you for example, and they'll ask him like, you know, how is dating Dory, or like, is she, you know, and he's like, yeah, everything's good, we're doing good, she's good, but however, you know, sometimes she lashes out, or sometimes so they can't just leave it off with something good about you. What they will do is they have to add something negative about you, so that, because they know that at some point they're gonna destroy that relationship. They know that what they're doing, it's gonna catch up to them. So when they know that when you catch on and you break up with them, there's already a stigma, or there's already that negative connotation out there about you, so that when things break up, they could say, oh, yeah, we broke up. Remember I told you that she was confrontational or she was combative? That's why we broke up. Not knowing, these people don't know the truth, that they were actually cheating and they were the ones being emotionally abusive. They were the ones being gaslighting and projecting.
They only hear one side.
Exactly. So they get ahead of it before it actually happens, because they know that they don't like you. They're just there. They just use you as their entertainment, like a toy. Like, you ever give a cat like a laser or a yarn, and they just play? That's all it is, and it's enjoyment. So once you recognize that, and you can see the signs early, you can see red flags, and this is why I said this is really important, because there's a lot of things that people don't see and they're missing out on because they're so engaged in their gadgets, and they don't do these one-on-one connections, these talking, and get to see how people, and they think, well, it's me, or I could have did this better. And yeah, everyone can improve. I've improved. I mean, I used to, you know, do my thing back in the day, but you know, I've learned and I've grown. And again, pressure makes diamonds. And so sometimes you got to go through things to grow. And so, yes, again, just make sure that anybody who, you know, is watching this or whatever, just make sure that you like continue to be aware. Always look for, and do not, and I repeat, do not ignore the red flags. If you feel like you're missing them, etc., just kind of reevaluate, okay, what am I missing? what do they bring to the table? And if you notice too, if you ever fell in love with a narcissist or somebody like that, a sociopath, personality disorder, whatever, it's either two things. Thing number one, they're either really good in bed, so you kind of get attached to that sexual experience. The second thing is the victim, the true victim themselves is in a toxic place. So they are enabling them to continue to treat them bad because they feel like, I'm not worth it, so maybe I deserve being treated this way. Maybe I do need to be better. So they rationalize it in their head. Again, it's a little bit of delusion on the victim's end. And then they rationalize it, well, I should stay because, X, Y, Z. So a lot of it is knowing your worth, getting out of that dark place, that depression state, and you might be able to see through those narcissists and overcome that. But I guarantee you, these people, they do not care about you at all. It might seem like it, they might dress it up, they will lie, and they'll make things seem as if it's good, but it's not. Just always remember, put yourself first. And if you're getting over these individuals too, that's a solution, I would say. If you're to get over these individuals, like you said, focus on yourself and don't go into things that are negative. Don't get into more toxic situations like falling in love or, sleeping with multiple people or getting into drugs, gambling, drinking, all these other things that are negative because it won't help you with any growth or anything like that. So yes, people out there in TV land, YouTube land, put yourselves first, work on yourselves, level yourself up, because then when they leave, you won't be empty and you will be able to grow and become the best version of you.